Hello everyone and welcome back to a Gran Turismo time trial video, and we're in the Afeela Prototype. We're in an electric car, so if you're using automatic, don't worry about it, we're all in automatic. We're at Lego Maggiore, the full circuit here on sports hard tires. I've rated this an easy gold to get in my opinion, but this car does need a bit of a diet. It's very weighty heavy, or weight transfer heavy there. Goal estimate around a 218.2. I do feel like they're going to get well into the 14s here, are the rank 1 times. So that is why I've put the gold time around about there. If you do enjoy this video, as always, do give it a like and do subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content. But without further ado, let's jump into this lap guide then. Let me tell you how to get 2 million credits here at Lego Maggiore. As you head towards turn 1 then, you got this fence on top of the pit wall on the left-hand side. The very last one here that I've highlighted is your brake marker. You can see I've just gone on the brakes right now. You have to brake extremely early in this car because the brakes also don't work. It's very weighty and the brakes don't work. You can see those squares there on the left-hand side. So the very last one is your brake marker. As I come into here, I start to release the brakes and clip the inside. I'm going to accelerate initially and then going to go hard on the brakes when the end of that white paint there on the right side on the grass gets to the edge of my screen. And you can see I'm just got on the brakes right about now. Have a look at chase cam here then. There you go. And in terms of the pad, by the way, the pad seems to struggle on this corner in particular, and I'll touch on it more on the pad lap later on. So as we go around here, you want to accelerate out of the corner. The front wheels will spin up a little bit, so do lift off if you need to. And the straighter you get the wheels, the quicker you'll go out that corner. As we get into this one, though, this left-hander here, you see where the white lines cross over there? That's your, basically, make sure you've turned in at this point and lift off slightly. Okay, lift off slightly. You want to cut a lot of this left-hander to open up the right that's coming up. So I lift off a little bit, lift off a little bit more. I try and maintain 80 miles an hour. I've gone below it, 76, but that doesn't matter. I'm trying to maintain it. I've gone below it, but I'm far left, which is where I want to be. On the right side there, the orange to green barrier. That is your brake marker for this right-hander. Okay, so for this one, you're going to get a lot of weight transfer because you're going left and then right. And what you want to do is just let the car roll initially there. And notice there, I'm just letting it roll and then accelerate through the corner. Okay, because of the weight transfer, if you go on and off the throttle or on and off the brakes, the weight's going to just shift all over the place and make the car unsettled. Be patient, let the car roll, and it will reward you for it. As we head towards the sharp right-hander, you've got this big yellow paint here that you can use. I started using the Marshall box after I sort of figured that was a bit better brake marker. So as the Marshall box leaves the edge of your screen, okay, it's just after the Marshall box, you're going to hit the brakes. Now this corner goes slightly right there, so you have to turn in a little bit, then brake in a straight line, then release the brakes, turn in, clip the curb. Once you clip the curb, accelerate out of the corner and get over towards the right-hand side. Try and straighten up the wheel as soon as possibly can, because otherwise the front wheels are just going to spin and not actually accelerate you. Heading towards the S's then here at Lego Maggiore, you've got the start of the curb here. This is your brake marker. You're braking extremely early for this one. You can see I've just gone on the brakes right now. So the start of the curb is your brake marker. And you want to turn in quite early. This car understeers due to the weight of the car. So as you turn in here, let the car roll and then begin to accelerate. And now as you go up to this right-hander, cut all the inside as much as you can. And as you go to this left, lift a little bit. Okay, lift a little bit until you're happy you're going to make the corner. Usually the end of the inside curb is when you're going to be happy. And then make sure you turn in early for this right part of the straight, because otherwise you're going to understeer off. Very weighty car, very boaty feel. You need to make sure you turn in earlier than you think in order to get the maximum lap time out of the car. Right, heading towards Banky Boy, I've highlighted the billboard, which is right behind the times on the right-hand side. But this is your brake marker as it hits the edge of your screen. You can see I've just hit the brakes now. It's just hit the edge of my screen. It's like for like here. You can see on chase cam that billboard a bit more clear. So it's just before on chase cam, and you're going to hit the brakes. Brake in a straight line here. Use all of the inside curb if you can and accelerate out the corner. Straighten up the wheel as soon as possible to avoid any wheel spin and wheel screeching, because it does sound a bit horrible in this car. As we go up here, you want to lift for this left-hander, okay? You want to get as far left as possible to then lift for the right a little bit here and then accelerate through it. If you remotely go into the middle of the circuit before the right, you're going to understeer into the barrier. Just keep that in mind. It's better to really compromise the left to maximize the right-hand corner. Heading into another right-hander then, the Marshall box on the left-hand side, a beautiful brake marker here then. So just as it leaves the edge of your screen is when you're going to hit the brakes. Again, you brake in a straight line and then you're going to want to lift off and then come into the corner here. Notice I trail brake into it, let the car roll a little bit. I'm trying to get on the throttle, but I realize it will understeer very quickly. And as we hit this curb here, I want to be off the double part of the curb before it ends, but I'm going to start braking at the end of the single curb. Okay, so the double curb, be off it, but the single curb is when I start braking. So I've already shifted the weight as I turn here, and let's see me do this then. Notice the braking. I'm trying to use the inside. Accelerate really early out of this corner. The car's very stable, and it will understeer through here, so you can cut quite a lot of it there. Just straddle the sausage as we head down towards the final corner then. So the bullet sign on the left-hand side, that is your brake marker, okay? It's just before it hits the end of your screen because you actually want to use all of the inside curb. Now, I don't think I do it on this particular lap, and I actually lose about a tenth or two because I don't use it on this particular lap here. So as we go into here, I turn in and notice I'm not using all the curb on the inside. I can use a lot more than that. You can use all of it, okay, people, as we continue on out of there. We're going to head towards the line then, and this was a 2:15.4. I don't have too much time today to be able to do more laps here, so a 2:15.4 is what I settle with here. We go on to a pad lap then, so it's the same situation here, but I did say the car struggles on this right-hander coming up, okay, and it really does. So as I come into here, I just felt the car wouldn't turn as much, so I had to do a secondary lift, but it doesn't look like it compromises too much, and I feel like the pad has a big advantage in this time trial because it seems to be able to manage the weight transfer a little bit better. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's because I can't rotate the car as much. The car's maybe more settled, and it allows the car to actually drive better. With that in mind, I would actually say the pad lap is actually easier than the wheel lap, if I'm brutally honest with you. It's maybe a bit slower, but it's probably because I need to get used to it. But in terms of the pad, it's all about just letting the car roll again and trying to accelerate where you can here. Notice I'm trying to catch up to my own ghost. That's my own ghost here. And you can see that I accidentally changed the camera because I'm a bit weird like that and I accidentally pressed it on the pad. In towards the left we go. Remember, the start of the curb there is your brake marker, using all of the inside then. And as we go towards the right hand side, I was a bit scared about cutting too much here on the pad. Then in towards the left, a big lift, end of the curb, I start accelerating and continue on through there. Not the greatest of S's there on the pad, but even so, it was still pretty good in the grand scheme of it. And again, this is going to be a gold lap for you, so you can see it's pretty obvious on a pad. We're going to head down here then, and we're looking for that billboard at the 100-meter board there on the right hand side. Hard on the brakes then, and once again, we're going to use all of the inside if we can. No, we're not, apparently, on the pad lap, but you're meant to. I've just got that a little bit wrong, but I do get a good run out the exit, so it does show maybe a deeper line does work here on the pad. Going up here, remember, compromise this left if you can to get over towards the left-hand side. That's what we do, and then we can accelerate a little lift, accelerate through here on the right-hander. Could have done that a little bit better if I'd have compromised a bit more. Marshal box on the left-hand side, your brake marker for this right-hander. Excuse me there, just a bit of a hiccup as we continue on through here. The double curb, be off that. Single curb, end of it, we brake, we turn in. We don't cut all of the inside there, so we're compromised on the exit. Notice my ghost accelerates away. So the more you cut on the inside there and straighten up, the quicker you can be. The bullet sign on the left-hand side is your final brake marker as we go into the corner. Again, I haven't used all of the inside here. Plenty of time in this pad lap. Pad can very much get into the middle of the 15s, no problem. I will say that right now. So if you're on a pad, there is no compromise to a wheel. Just keep that in mind here. We're going to go to chase cam then. So remember, the end of that fence on top of the pit wall is your brake marker. In we go. ABS is on weak, if you wondered here, as we go into this right-hander, the end of the white paint on the right-hand side. We're going to accelerate out that corner and head over towards the right-hand side. And remember, as those white lines cross, turn in and lift off at the same time. If you can cut a bit of the inside, great. Get over as far left as possible. The orange to green there on the right is when we brake and we turn in. We're trying to let the car roll a little bit and accelerate out the corner. Track limits are on, so, you know, if you go too far out there, you will invalidate your lap. We're going to head down here then, and we're looking for that marshal box on the left-hand side. So remember, we're using that marshal box as a brake marker. We straighten up a little bit here. We're going to release the brakes, turn in, hopefully get the car onto the apex and accelerate through the corner. We're going to head up here then and head over towards that right-hand side. And we're looking for to start the curb on the right then, here on chase cam as well. So here we go, hard on the brakes, and then we're going to turn in. Let's see how much of the track we actually cut here on the right-hand side. You've got to stay on the concrete to make sure it counts. Oh, we're easily on there. In towards the left we go. Start accelerating at the end of the curb there, and you should make the corner absolutely fine. Breathe a little now. You've done the hardest part of the circuit, in my opinion, and the next part is the easier part. So that's what you got to think about here. If you nail these first two sectors, you're on for a good lap. Okay, so we're going to head down here. Remember what we're looking for, the billboard at the 100-meter board on the right-hand side, and we're going to hit the brakes. Brake in a straight line, start to release brakes, and try and use all the camber on the inside if we can. That's a better use of it than I showed before on the pad lap. Accelerate out the corner, head up here, and remember, you have to compromise on the left-hander here. So lift off a lot more here. Make sure you're as far left as possible to then accelerate through the right-hander here. And we're trying to maintain 108 miles an hour. We've done that perfectly as we continue towards the marshal box. That is your brake marker for this right-hander. Hard on the brakes. We start to lift those brakes as we turn in, and we're going to accelerate out towards the double curb. Come off the double curb and brake at the single curb as you're turning back into the corner. Use as much of the inside as you can. Straighten up very quickly here to maximize your acceleration. Straddle that sausage. Look how much we straddle that one as we head towards the bullet sign now, and that is your final brake marker. We're going to turn in here. Use a bit more than the curb than I did here on the left-hand side. Really maximize the width of this circuit to really get the best potential out of this car. We head towards the line, and that is a 2:15.4. Believe it or not, I actually got another lap after this. 1,000th behind my fastest lap, which was kind of funny, to be honest with you. That is it in a nutshell with this car. Quite an easy gold, in my opinion. And as I say, if you follow those tips, you should easily get gold. Do keep an eye out for the rank 1 time, though, because that's going to come down considerably. If you did enjoy this video, as always, do give it a like. Do subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the support. And we are on this journey to 50,000 subscribers. So I appreciate all your help in getting there. And we can do another special. GT Amiga, help me out. So use code Tidgney at checkout there. I get a kickback as well as you get in a discount. Fanatec is an affiliate link, and they give me a kickback if you do use it. And I appreciate that support as well. If thanks for watching, last week's time trial guide video is there, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.